So if there is any operator in Valorant that I am qualified to talk about, it is definitely Raze. Ever since the beta, I have played Raze non-stop. Almost the entire beta. You know, I tried out every single character, but the majority of the time I was just using Raze. Of course, she was a little bit more powerful in the beta because they hadn't nerfed her blast packs yet. And I believe they also did a nerf to her rocket launcher at some point. I think that was in the beta though. But in any case, in my opinion, Raze is the best character to frag out with, right? If you're that person who likes to be, you know, that top fragger and control type operators, excuse me, agents. I know I keep calling them operators. I'm so used to Rainbow Six Siege. If you're not into controller type agents, you know, Raze is probably both the easiest agent to get kills with, but also one of the hardest to really master. And for that exact reason, I love playing her. All of her abilities are pretty self-explanatory. The boom bot, you know, you throw it down, it falls in a straight path. If it sees somebody, it freaks the fuck out, blows them up in the face, forces them to shoot it. And the key with the boom bot that I see so many people doing wrong is it can be used for information, but what it is primarily used for is to force somebody, essentially to win a 1v1 gunfight. If you know somebody is around a corner, you can bank it off the wall. That way it's going to go towards them. Or if they're down a long hallway, you know, you can throw it down the long hallway. And you peek with the boom bot. That is the really important part, right? Because they have one of two options. They will either shoot the boom bot and die to you, or they will die to the boom bot, or you know, or they'll shoot you and die to the boom bot. And obviously you're hoping that they're going to shoot the boom bot, which they usually do, because you know the boom bot makes the very loud sound cue as it's rolling towards them. The majority of people kind of freak out. They start shooting at the boom bot, and you get a pretty easy kill as long as you're hitting your shots. Like I said, it can be used for intel, but you would rather just use, you know, like a Sova dart, you know, have a Sova on your team, or you know, really anything else. There's no reason to use a fragging ability for intel. But I guess in the worst case scenario, you could. Then you have the blast packs, which I pretty much never use to actually do damage with. I use it primarily with her ultimate, the rocket launcher, because it allows you to get better angles, peek quicker, and you know, with the rocket launcher, you don't have to be standing still to get, you know, you don't need perfect accuracy with the rocket launcher. It just has to be in the general vicinity of the person you're shooting at. So really, it's best to use to, you know, you just drop it straight down, you walk a little bit in front of it, jump, hit your Q, have it go off, and you know, it'll spring you forward and kind of up. It's a great way to get over sage walls, or into, you know, little positions that you can't normally jump into that you would need like a jet or an omen for. They're also decent at taking out sage walls. If you have two of them, you can just flat out get rid of part of a sage wall with them. So that's always an option. It does do damage, but I don't run into very many scenarios personally where I feel like, you know, I would rather just peek, usually. I guess that's something that is just kind of personal preference when it comes to the blast packs, but it's not going to do enough damage to actually give you a full kill. And then her most powerful ability, in my opinion, is her grenades. And Raze is, I believe, you know, as far as I can think of, besides Brimstone's Molotov, the only agent that has an actual frag grenade. You know, of course, it blows up into multiple grenades. And it is pretty amazing because you can actually get 3 of them in a round. If you use it, get 2 kills, you get it again, You can use it a second time, get 2 more kills, and then use it a third time. Now, usually you're not going to, be using it 3 times in one round, but it's just the simple fact that you can, and they are so powerful. They are so great at actually getting kills that it's definitely worth using. You don't want to just throw them willy-nilly. Occasionally, I will use them as a spawn frag if I know that a team is continuously, putting 1 or 2 people on a particular spawn angle, especially on split A-bomb side. I don't have any actual gameplay of it, but on A-bomb site where ramp is, if you know where that is, you can spawn frag right there as they're coming down from their spawn. If you're standing up on top of the ramp, you can throw a frag there, and if a full team is squatted up there trying to rush in, you can get some really easy kills. That's not always the best way to use them, because if nobody pushes that way, or if they run away quick enough, then you just wasted your frag. They are amazing to use to get people out of corners, and I have also found both the boombot and the frags are great ways to mask your footsteps. That's something I don't see people do very often, actually right on the screen. I believe right about now, you'll see me, I get a kill with the rocket launcher, get a kill with my deagle, and then I throw the grenade. That way I can push up without knowing, without worrying about somebody being there, and then I can also mask my footsteps, so if somebody does decide to peek after that grenade's gone, I get a really easy kill on them. And then, last but not least, ability-wise, is her rocket launcher, which is her, I guess, most iconic ability with Raze. The rocket launcher is probably the easiest way to get multi-kills and stuff like that. Now, I do believe they have nerfed it. Don't quote me on that, but I do believe there was a nerf in there, and it definitely feels like it's been nerfed since the beginning of the beta. But the one thing I will say, though, don't force yourself to use it to get a multi-kill, if that makes sense. I see so many people who play Raze who just hold on to their ultimate, and just ultimates in general. They'll just hold on to them and not use them, and that's pointless, right? You want to use it in a situation where you're going to get a kill, but at the same time, you don't want to just hold on to it, because that means that every single kill that you're getting after that isn't counting towards your next ultimate. And so I see people do it with their ults all the time, no matter what agent they're playing. They'll hold on to it, and it's just a waste. So, even if you're only getting 1 kill out of it, or even if you're not even getting a full kill, there's been plenty of times where, I'll shoot my rocket and I don't get a kill, but then I see at the end of the round, going into the next round, that I did 120 damage to one person and 98 damage to another. Like, that little chip damage is well worth it, in my opinion. Ults don't have to get you a kill, so don't hold on to it. But in any case, that's really all I have to say about the abilities. She is a fragging operator, so you want to be the one pushing. If you're playing Raze, you want to be the one engaging in gunfights. If you're playing Sage, you probably don't want to be the one running in and engaging in those early gunfights. But Raze is one of those operators that you can take those early gunfights. And of course, you don't want to die right off the bat, but with the combination of her boombot and her frags, she is a great operator to be that top frag on your team. And just like I said in my video about Reyna, if you're playing a duelist, if you're playing that frag operator and you're not getting kills, you're not doing a whole lot for your team. So, if you're one of those people who don't get a whole lot of kills, please, especially in ranked, don't be playing the duelists, right? Play Brimstone, play Sage, Sova, somebody who is going to benefit your team without you having to get kills, right? A Raze or a Phoenix or a Reyna, or even especially a Jet, that doesn't get kills is completely pointless. At least with an operator like Sage or Sova or something like that, if you're not getting kills, you are still benefiting your team, whether it be Brimstone with his smokes, Sage with her heals and wall and revive, or Sova with his intel, you know, Cypher as well. You know, you're at least bringing something to the team. And of course, you can't always know if you're going to be getting kills or not. But as a general rule, you know, you pretty much, you know whether you're the type of person to get a lot of kills or not. So the one thing that I will say, if you are using Raze, is make sure to use her abilities. I have a really bad habit. I'm not used to playing games that have abilities like the ones in Valorant, so I have a really bad habit of just kind of running and gunning and completely ignoring my abilities sometimes. But if you use them and you use them in the right scenarios, you can be in, you know, it's adds to your versatility, right? And your abilities allow you to get kills that you wouldn't regularly be able to get, and they're good at flushing people out. You know, her frags are a great way to flush people out if they're trying to do a full team push onto somewhere. Boombot is great if you're in a 1v1 scenario and you're trying to flush somebody out. Blast Pack is great, you know, if you need to jump around a corner really quick, or if someone's stuck in a corner and you don't want to peek them exactly, throw one in really quick, you know, do some chip damage before you run in. But in any case, yeah, that's you know, really all I have to say about Raze. Like I said, I've probably played over 100 games by far with Raze at this point, and she is my favorite operator. Excuse me, agent. My favorite agent, and I really hope that they don't nerf her. I'd really appreciate if you guys leave a like on this video. You know, comment, subscribe. It helps more than you know. I hate to say it because fucking every single YouTuber says it, but you know, especially being a really small channel with, you know, like only 140 subscribers or so, you know, it helps a ton. Take it easy, guys.
Yo, that was dirty. Damn. We should push.